Hello students, good morning all of you. Today I Rabindra Mohan Mishra from Sri Jagdamba Sanskrit College Batho am taking the class of Shastri II. In this day we are learning the explanation from the play The Merchant of Venice. In course of this, we have learned explanations from Act 1, Act 2 of different scenes and first scene of Act 3. Today we see explanation from Act 3, Scene 2 of the play Merchant of Venice. For this, today's paragraph is he makes a swan-like end, fading in music that the comparison may stand more proper. My eye shall be the stream, and watery death bed for him. He may win, and what is music then? Then music is even as the flourish when true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch, such it is as are those dulcet sound in break of day that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summon him to marriage. These lines have been taken from the play The Merchant of Venice. These lines are written by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a great dramatist. He was certainly one of the most successful writers of his time. These lines are taken from Act 2, Act 3, Scene 2 of the play Merchant of Venice. In this line, Portia uttered few something. In these lines are uttered by Portia in Act 3, Scene 2. Portia makes this a statement of her Bassanio's decision of making choice of the correct casket in which Portia will be locked. Portia says that if Bassanio fails to choose the correct casket, then he will make their relationship as a swan like end. In this above line, we find that there is something very Greek about this passage and the lines that follow. It is believed that swans sing only when they are near their deaths, and they would sing enchantingly at that time. So, Portia is using this allusion to express that if Bassanio fails to make the correct choice of the casket, their relationship will end as swan-like end. Bassanio will be not put off any longer by Portia and desires to make his choice of the casket. He says that he is pulled in different directions as the rack, an instrument of torture, pulled one's limbs. He feels that he is being tortured. Portia reluctantly agrees to let him choose, telling her waiting woman Nursia to stand aside and have music playing while Bassanio makes his selection. Then, if he lost, he makes a swan like end, alludes to the belief that swans were believed never to sing until they sang instantly at their death. Also, this phrase of Portia's allude to a phrase yet in use today which became proverbial in ancient Greece by the 3rd century BC and was used many times in Western drama and poetry. The swan was a symbol of beauty and harmony, and swan song is a phrase that is metaphoric and denotes a final effort or performance or gesture that is performed just before retirement. If Portia's if Bassanio chooses the wrong casket, his act will be his final one before he departs, an act which will be as death to Portia. Portia extends the metaphor of Swan's song by saying that her tears will create the river by which Bassanio as Swan will swim away from her. On the other hand, if Bassanio chooses the correct casket, the music will be like the flourish of trumpets announcing a king newly crowned, and this flourish of trumpets will resound in Portia's heart just as the new bridegroom is awakened by those dulcet sounds, sweet and soothing sounds at the beginning of his joyous wedding day. In short, we conclude that these lines reminds us that love is blind. Again, these lines teaches us that love is essential for all. Now, the second paragraph. So many outwards should be pleased themselves. This world is still deceived with ornament in law. What play is so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscure to show of evil. These lines have been taken from the play The Merchant of Venice. These lines are written by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a great dramatist. He was certainly one of the most successful writers of his time. These lines have been taken from Act 3, Scene 2 of the play Merchant of Venice. In Act 3, Scene 2, Bassanio has to choose the right chest or lose Portia. He is struggling to pick the right chest. His love for Portia is real and he cannot imagine living without her. Bassanio has a unique way of defining beauty and what beauty is not. In these above lines, Bassanio tells us that beauty should not be judged by the outside appearance of someone. He says that outward beauty can be brought, but what is on the inside will eventually come out. If a person is not beautiful on the inside, then all the jewels and makeup cannot cover up the true reality of what the person really is. Bassanio thinks that Portia is beautiful on the inside as well as the outside. Her true beauty shines through to what he sees on the outside. He has harsh words for people who try to discuss their ugliness with what is considered beauty in religion. What damned error, but some sober bro will bless it and prove it what is right. There is no vice so simple, but assume some marks of virtue on his outward parts. We see that Bassanio has contempt for people who are fake. There are people who hide the true ugliness inside their hearts with the outward appearance of beauty. Bassanio defines beauty as being the beauty on the inside, like Portia. Bassanio shows a great deal of wisdom here, saying that ornamentation can be decisive. Anyone with a sweet voice can manipulate the law and discuss his true intent. This is particularly relevant as Portia's eloquence will convince the court to impose a merciless sentence on Shylock and leave her looking like the picture of justice. Portia herself points out that justice can be contrary to the greater good of mercy. It should be noted, however, that Portia twists justice in response to Shylock twisting it first. In that, Bassanio discusses his revenge as justice by forcing the Duke to take responsibility for punishing Antonio. Her beauty comes from within. When Bassanio looks at her, he sees the beautiful heart and spirit she has, and that is what made him fall in love with her. In short, we conclude that these lines teaches us that a thing of beauty is joy for ever and everybody. Again, it reminds us that the thing which is beauty is certainly filled with permanent beauty. Thanks.